welcome back to Calmsden. So, you join me as we make our way back to the main yard in the T7. So, we've already harvested in the previous episode the first of the two fields that we start with. That are harvest ready, I should say. So the first one being wheat, and the second one here beside me is barley. You can see here it is ready to harvest. Now, I did say at the end of the previous episode that we'd get straight into harvesting the straw from the first field. But, it's August, and I'm not exactly sure, I'm new to Ep2, I'm not exactly sure how long before the crop will wilt. You can see our harvester hiding away in here. So, I think the safe option is, if we're going to invest our time in anything, we're going to get the harvest done. We're going to get the money in, and the straw will keep. Straw will keep. So, as I said, the second field here is barley. So it's usually worth a little bit less than wheat in the first field, but it does yield a lot more straw. So we sort of make up the difference that way. So let's get squared up here. That should do us. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll grab the little fence and we'll pull out the header. I did put away the header nice and neatly, which is unlike me. That's because I assumed we wouldn't be getting straight back into harvest, as we are. So let's get this squared up. That should be okay. Or not. I think I've misjudged that a little bit. Okay, nothing we can't fix. So, as I said, I'm anxious to get this harvested for fear we lose it, and we can worry about the straw in the next couple of episodes. So let's get down here. Being right beside the yard, of course, it's really quite a short draw. We won't be carting very far. Where do we start? Cool, we're ready. So, the approach here is going to be simple. It's going to be the same as last time. I think I'm going to do 2 rounds of the field. Go around the headland twice, open up the field, and hand over to a driver at that stage. At least with 2 rows taken out of the headland, there should be plenty space for the driver to crack on. Now, we will put this in silo. Everything we harvest today will go in silo. Now, once I get around this corner without making any mistakes, I'll explain a little bit about why we're going to put it in the silo. So you know what, we'll time lapse the next little bit, or we'll just jump ahead after 1 round of the field maybe. Okay, we're nearly full and we haven't made it around the field even once. And nearly, there we are. Overshot it. Crop destruction is on. So, we won't worry too much about that. Let's throw out the pipe and we'll grab the trailer. Now, not sure which is the fastest way around. You can see the combine way off in the distance. I think I'll just follow the patch or strip that's been already cut out. So, in terms of dropping this into the silo for now, I did mention in the previous episode that I wasn't sure whether there was a projected price or the option to see the projected price, but silly me, it is there. Once we get up to silo, maybe I'll flip that up on screen just for a moment. So having looked at it already, it does look a lot like prices do fluctuate, obviously, but they peak somewhere around December or January. So the plan will be to tip it into our own silo, sit on it for as long as we can. Now, I do have expansion plans. I do want to get started on a couple of other things and spend money on various different things, but the hope is that I can survive as long as possible without selling it. So we'll just have to see how far we get in that regard. Now, this is a little tricky. I don't think I can get any closer to the hedge. gonna have to move the combine. I can squeeze up here. Yep. And that should do it. Okay, let's get emptied. Done! I think, yeah, we're done. So let's square off here again. And we'll continue on. So, as I say, I'm just going to do 2 more rounds, or yeah, we'll do a second round. And then we'll hand over to the driver. I've never had a combine on tracks before, actually, speaking of which. I'm really liking it. Doesn't seem to leave any nasty strips on the ground or anything like that, and I have driven it on fallow ground. It doesn't really seem to disturb the ground at all. Of course, the header on this is, what is it, 6.1 meters? Maybe more. So it does feel like we're clearing a lot of ground very quickly. Thankfully, because God knows we have a lot of ground to cover. So I'm glad we started with this combine. Let's see, I wonder would the driver get on okay if we just took out 1 strip. I would like to test it. I really wouldn't like to test it. And we're nearly have 2 rounds done. So let's just skip up to the end of this row and we'll turn back and find the best place to hand over to a worker. I think from left to right here should be the ideal. There we go. Okay, we've 2 done. No more. No more. We will hand over to a driver somewhere down here. So that should do us. If we square them up here, they should be okay. Our header. And away they go. So, I'll go up and grab the T7, be ready for the next load. And I believe we do have a load ready again. So I've skipped ahead. I've already dumped 2 trailer loads into the silo, so we're doing pretty okay. Got near enough 60,000 litres already loaded into the silo, which is the same amount as we got in total out of the previous field. So this field is clearly a lot bigger. It's going to yield a lot better. So let's get into position here again. Okay, we're in position. I had a little bit of messing about, but we're in position. So regarding the straw, and we know there's a lot of straw to go through, I'd kind of resigned myself to round baling it yesterday, but I think that might be a bit of a stretch. There's just too much ground to cover. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to rent a square baler. I do only have 2 fields and I won't have a lot of work to do, so I can't justify buying one, not just yet, because they are very, very expensive. So you'll see the worker left a little bit of a strip here on the right, kind of inexplicably, because I don't see any reason why. But in any case, as I say, I'm going to rent a big square baler. Just get it out of the way. I'm not sure exactly, might be in or around 5,000 to rent the baler. I figure I've got to have at least 30,000-40,000 worth of bales that I can sell immediately, so it will pay off. So let's get this up here. Just get reversed into the silo, and I will pop the price screen, the price projection screen as I call it, whatever we want to call it. Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to this doorway, so I'm getting it in one more often than not now. Okay. Yep, we're emptying. So this is the price screen. This is what I missed yesterday and wasn't aware that it was here. So I think it's just spacebar on the prices screen. You can toggle it on and off. So there you see, it does peak somewhere around January. So right now is the worst time to sell. So as I said, the longer we can survive without selling any of our stock, the better. So we do have, what is that? Yeah, 50 and 60,000. We do have a decent amount of grain in the silos, so we should be okay. We'll see how we get on. I do have, as I say, I do have plans for expansion. We'll almost certainly be starting a cow farm and sheep as quickly as possible. So I probably will be breaking out the round baler to do a little bit of grass work, because those cows are going to need to be fed over the winter time. So let's get back. I think we might only have one more load. And that's it. We've just taken out the last kind of awkward corners. Took over from the worker. We're going to dump this load and we'll be done for today. A quick word on the cow farming. So I've had a look already and definitely going to start. Now the cows work slightly differently on 22 to how they worked in 19. You can buy them at various stages of growth or various stages of age. I think you can buy them at 10 months, 6 months, 10 months and 18 months, something like that. So buying them at 6 months, they're not productive until 18. So if you buy them at 6 months, you have about a year of feeding them and rearing them before they become productive. Now, the only thing is, the 18-month-old ones that are ready to produce are in around 2,500 to buy, whereas the 6-month-old are 200 quid to buy. So I think I'm going to have to balance things out somehow. So I just realized there's a little gateway up here, by the way, and it might be, I'm not sure if it's quicker by comparison to going around the front, but either way we'll get this load tipped. So as I say, next episode we'll probably get all of the straw done. I'm going to have to start spending money. I'm going to have to rent a baler, and I'm probably going to have to purchase a bale trailer as well. Something with auto load, preferably. We're going to have to break out we will be breaking out the teleporter for the first time as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, so much for learning how to get in here in one go. A second go at it. So we've got lots going on. So I think we'll leave it here for this episode. It is only episode 2. We've already got 2 of our main fields harvested. We're going to have to start some tillage work pretty soon as well. But straw is next. Then we'll start the cow farm, and then we'll see if we can financially survive the winter, so to speak. So that's all coming up. We'll leave this episode here for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. See you in the next one.